This week on the WIU Football Coaches Show, a showdown in the Fargo Dome. The Leathernecks came up just a few plays short. Western will try to rebound this week as they return to Hanson Field, the friendly confines, to take on the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. This is the WIU Football Coaches Show. Welcome to another edition of the WIU Football Coaches Show. I'm Danny Fry alongside Leatherneck head football coach Charlie Fisher. Western Illinois fell for the first time on the road this season via a 24-12 loss at North Dakota State on Saturday. Coach, how would you assess your team's effort inside the always tough Fargo?
Well, outstanding effort. That wasn't a problem. Our guys were ready to play and certainly focused, very well prepared by our staff, and the effort was very good. We just came up on a short end. It wasn't that we didn't play hard, just didn't quite make a couple plays, particularly in the second half that we needed to. It could have really swung the tide in the game.
There were some plays that went Western's way in the first half. When we go to the first half highlights from the Fargo Dome on Saturday, and you knew it was going to be another tough Dome experience, but Sean McGuire, the leader, of course.
Oh yeah, Sean's going to get him ready. I mean, he's the man. You know, he's a tremendous leader and passionate about winning. And it was a great start. What a great environment.
It really was absolutely packed. Of course, you have all the pregame festivities there as well. Let's go to the game, though. North Dakota State's first drive of the ballgame. Easton Stick airs it out 49 yards to one of his favorite targets, Darius Shepard down the sideline.
Right, hit us on an inside numbers fade and got a matchup on Brett, and that's a tough matchup for anybody.
The Leatherneck defense held, though, on third down. Then Cam Peterson knocks through a 37-yarder of 9:14 left in the first quarter, 3-0 Bison. The following Western drive, now Sean McGuire starts to settle in even under the pressure he finds.
Right, yeah, that was a big time, pro throw right there, with pressure right in his face.
Nice play action here. How about a pro catch, toe tap there for Jalen Ackland, another outstanding grab.
No doubt, Jalen just keeps being Jalen.
That led to a 32-yard field goal that is looped in by Sam Crosa with 3 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. We're all tied at 3 apiece. Huge play in the first half. Pressure gets to Stick. The wobbly pass is intercepted by Quentin Moon. He'll take it to the house. A pick six, heads-up play all around.
Absolutely. Quentin was Johnny on the spot, and it's good to have his production back in the lineup. He's got the broken wrist, but boy, he's been playing through that and had an outstanding game Saturday night.
And you really couldn't tell there with the broken wrist. Quentin Moon with a fantastic play. He takes it to the house. Western up 9-3. The PAT was blocked. Western up, though, 2 minutes left in the first quarter, 9-3. That's okay. Very next pass from Stick. It's intercepted again. This time the athletic Justin Fitzpatrick, his fourth pick of the year.
Yeah, Fitz has had an outstanding year. Boy, he took off. We were in cover two. He covered the whole shot in there well and really did a nice job.
NDSU would get the ball quick back, and then they would start driving. Lance Dunn churns his feet, moves the chains up the middle. And then on fourth down, WIU 8-yard line. This time the Bison would go for it. They wouldn't move the chains. Bruce Anderson is stuffed. Big stop there, Coach.
Yeah, big stop there. Shabar Wilson, what a nice play. He just continues to improve for us as a true freshman, really playing good football. 2.5
minutes left in the second quarter. Stick to R.J. Urzendowski, 51 yards, putting NDSU in front 10-9. Seems like Urzendowski's one of those guys who's just been there forever for NDSU.
Yeah, he's been playing a long time. I've seen enough of him over the last 3 years from the playoff game at Richmond and then the last 2 years. But, we had good coverage. Zay just fell down there kind of at the end. They made a good play over the top.
Well, we can say Urzendowski is a senior. Then Western goes to the 2-minute drill. Nice sliding catch by Ackland. Seen that a few times this year. The Leathernecks, though, pushed back to the 35. The NDSU defense just kept coming there.
Yeah, they got 2 big sacks on us there and pushed us way deep in field goal position. But, Nathan comes in here and what a kick.
That's why you bring in Nathan Anderson. A 52-yard field goal attempt. Nailed it with 17 seconds left in the first half. The first time that the Leathernecks has made a 50-plus yard field goal attempt since 2008. It was back in the Fargo Dome, and that's why you have Nathan Erickson. You see him on the kickoffs. So Western pretty fired up going to halftime.
Oh, man, I tell you what, we had played so well in the first half and really left an opportunity twice on the board there that we could have probably gotten 7 points. But, to go 12-10 at the Dome with these guys, it's right where you want to be. And I felt certain we'd come out, and we've been so good in the third quarter all season long. And, credit North Dakota State, they punched us in the nose in the third quarter.
And we'll keep it back to the end of that second quarter with Nathan Erickson. Just how big was that kick? I mean, just the magnitude of it that, Western special teams, they got kickers now for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Nathan's our long distance dial-up kicker. And, if we have to extend it out, we'll go. Sam is somewhere good in that 40, 41, 42 range. Beyond that, we'll go to the big leg, old Thunderfoot, Nathan Erickson. And, he's been kicking well all year. He understands his role. He does his job. He's been a real pleasant, I don't say surprise, but just how well he's kicked, how consistently well he's kicked off for us has been really nice.
And it certainly looked like that could have went for another 10 yards there.
Yeah, he hit a 58-yarder in spring ball. And, he's got that kind of leg. He's got a big leg. So that wasn't a reach for him. It was just a matter of him not getting out of the swing phase of what he does, and did a really nice job.
And what was the key? Picking off Easton Stick there twice, back-to-back interceptions against a very talented quarterback in this league.
Well, we got pressure on him. And anytime you get pressure on him, you affect that throw or that throwing platform. Certainly the first one we got around him, it looked like it came out odd. We may have got a little bit of a hand on the elbow there when it came out. The second one, he was under some duress and he kind of threw it a little bit off balance on the run. Just didn't quite get enough on it. And then Fitz was right where he needed to be.
Talk about the Western defense. What about the NDSU defense that really makes them so stingy? Because it was hard to get into a groove in the far.
Yeah, good players, good scheme, well coached. They just don't get out of position. And at the end of the day, they're going to be where they're supposed to be, and they got good players there. So they make you earn everything you get. That's
definitely what North Dakota State does. But right now, let's go underneath the helmet once again for a closer look at one of your Leathernecks in the 2-minute drill. This week's 2-minute drill guest is Nathan Erickson, kickoff specialist, but also place kicker for the Leathernecks as he showed off this past Saturday. You made a 52-yard field goal. When you saw it go through, what was the initial reaction?
Something I will never forget. Kicking in the Fargo Dome, hitting a 52-yarder, it's like a dream come true.
And in fact, what was your reaction when you found out that a kick hadn't been made that long at Western Illinois since almost a decade ago in 2008?
I was honestly surprised that it was that long. It is pretty rare to hit a 50-yard field goal, but I figured someone had to have done it before.
Everyone always says, kicker lives matter too with everything. Well, when did you get involved with kicking?
I started going to camps my 7th grade year. I officially started kicking just in the backyard in like 4th grade, but started going to camp 7th grade all throughout high school, got recruited, and now I'm here.
So is that something, I know Coach mentioned on the show that you've hit a 58-yarder in spring. Have you tried anything longer than that? Really getting there?
Yeah, just messing around in practice, before practice. My longest 67, but that's not with a live snap and hold. Live snap and hold I did hit from 59 at the end of spring, but I knew I had the leg for it, so I was just worried about hitting a good ball.
And the shirt you're wearing, we have to bring that up. Obviously, you see the Charger Bolt there, the 5 for Mike Cyphers, one of the greats here at Western Illinois Special Teams.
Yep, these are the Special Teams Player of the Week shirts, and they're in honor of Mike Cyphers, the blue and the yellow for when he played for the Chargers. And I think it's pretty cool that we're remembering him because he's a Special Teams great.
And you see the Charger Bolt there, but I understand that that's not your favorite NFL team. Who is that?
Absolutely not. It's the Green Bay Packers all the way.
And you're trying to have life without Aaron Rodgers now, right?
We're going to make it work. In Hundley we trust, and we'll see where it goes, and hopefully Rodgers is back by the end of the season.
Nathan Erickson, thanks again for coming on and taking the time.
Thank you.
When we come back, Coach Fisher and I will break down the second half from the Fargo Dome. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the WIU Football Coaches Show. I'm Danny Farrell alongside Leatherneck head football coach Charlie Fisher. Western Illinois football led number 2 North Dakota State 12-10 at halftime. Coach, what's the strategy at that point? And unlike the past couple games, your team had the lead going into the break.
Well, just stay aggressive, continue to do what we're doing. We were playing very good defense. We were making them work in the run game particularly, and that's where you've got to make them. You got to handle the run game, and we were making them chip away. They weren't getting big runs, and we knew we were going to have to contain Stick. In all their wins, he has come up with big plays and big runs. And unfortunately, the scramble here in the second half really hurt us. But we're going to stay aggressive. We believed. Listen, Dan, we could win. I told the team Friday night, you don't need their help to beat them. You can beat them. You're good enough to beat them. And they did help us some, which was a plus. But at the end of the day, we just we came up a little bit short and weren't able to make a couple of plays we needed to.
That's an NDSU team that really can take advantage of those opportunities as well. So we go to the second half highlights from the Fargo Dome. And, team has been outstanding with second half adjustments this season. See what was tweaked at halftime. Easton Stick, as you mentioned, he started to show he's a mobile quarterback.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a dual threat guy, and we got him under duress, and he made a couple of mistakes, but he bounced back.
The Western Demons looking for another goal line stand, but an old-fashioned QB sneak barely squeaks in the end zone. Wait for it, a little bit of delayed call of 8:57 left in the third quarter, but eventually there it is, 17-12, NDSU back in front, and that's a tough opening drive to surrender to open up the half.
Right. Yeah, you hope that you can. Like the first drive of the game, you hold them to 3, and they were able to get it in there, and then they hit a big seam ball here to that guy again.
Right back to Urzendowski. It's down to the 8-yard line exactly, and then Stick decided to use his feet again. Just bobbing and weaving, pulls off a nice spin move here into the end zone. The Bison in control at this point. 4 minutes left in the third, up 24-12.
And not much you can do for that. We forced a scramble. We had guys there, and he made a good run. And you have to tip your hat to Easton Stick. He found a way to make a play.
Not much went right for Western in the third, but time to move on to the fourth. 4 fingers up. McGuire heaves it to Ackland, who comes down with the football near the 5-yard line. Just put it up there. Jalen Ackland will come down with it.
Yeah, just an outstanding play, and we're right in position here. We were in position a year ago inside the 5, and we couldn't get it in, and unfortunately, we come up short again.
And they couldn't. Lob over Zeke LaShore's head. Turnover on downs on that big 4th down play. And that really was a huge play in the game that could have possibly shifted it. Western's offense given one last chance, though. Late in the ballgame, Trey Dempsey is there for the pick. And North Dakota State, time to celebrate for the Bison. 24-12, the final. Coach, not the outcome you wanted. Leathernecks, though, went toe-to-toe with one of the best teams in the nation.
It was a really good game. It's not a moral victory here now for us by any means, because we expected to play well and we expected to win. But you have to credit them. They did what they were supposed to do. They held serve in their home building. We came up there and battled. Our motto is finish this fight, and we fought all night long. But now we need to move forward to the next round. That's round 8, and get ready for the next one.
Yeah, Stick and NDSU only need to pass it 18 times. The Western run was stifled for the most part. But Brett Taylor, another ho-hum day at the office. 17 tackles for the middle linebacker from Macomb. So, Coach, offense, we talked about it a little bit earlier, offense a little bit stagnant there in the second quarter. That's just because NDSU with Coach Entz, they're ready to go all the time.
Yeah, they're a good team. But we didn't help ourselves either. We didn't make a few plays when we had to, and we did. We really got in the red zone 3 times and ended up basically with 6 points. And that has been uncharacteristic of us. We've been scoring touchdowns at a high rate in the red zone, and tonight it didn't go our way. Again, you have to credit NDSU. They are good down there. They're top-rated defense in the country. So probably a combination of things, us just not being able to quite protect the quarterback well enough or make a throw or a catch here or there, and then certainly their scheme and their execution.
Is there a key to red zone offense and converting there, or just putting guys in the right spot? Because, like you mentioned, the efficiency has been right there for Western.
Well, coming into the game, Dan, we were top-rated red zone offense in the United States at the FCS level, so we were very good. Obviously, you got to be able to run the ball. That's a great starting point. We've got an outstanding pass game in the red zone, so we're very efficient in the red zone. Sam's been doing a great job when we do have to kick it. So, we just, as you saw there, we missed a couple open receivers. They got a little pressure on us. Sean just missed them. I feel certain he'll bounce back this week. He'll hit them this week, but unfortunately it didn't go our way in Fargo.
And your defense, granted you came up with a losing end, but they really grinded that whole game.
Absolutely. They played hard, and as a head coach, what more could you ask for? And your guys to play that hard all night long. And to really hold an outstanding running football team to what we did is not easy. Lance Dunn had 30 yards rushing at the end of the night. Stick got us a little bit, but I think the key was we made them earn their yards in the run game. There were no freebies.
And, Coach, that's probably one of the loudest places that you'll play
Yep.
all year as well, and really didn't seem to be rattled too much there.
Did a great job with the noise, but we prepared hard for the noise.
And that's something that Western will have to do now. And, it could be a positive, too, to get such a good test at this point in the season while in conference.
Absolutely. They're not going to get any easier. I mean, we got tough games ahead. We got a lot of work ahead of us. We still have all our goals in front of us. We're sitting exactly where we were a year ago at 5-2. Got an opportunity to get in this tournament at the end of the season. We just got to finish strong, and we're going to have to play well against good teams.
That's right. The schedule does not get any easier. Back with much more in the WIU Football Coaches Show after this quick timeout.
She wins the game! She wins the game! The Leathernecks win!
We're back on the WIU Football Coaches Show. Playing at home should bring, of course, a home field advantage, something that the Leathernecks try to take advantage of 4 times this season. Here's a closer look on what exactly playing in front of the hometown crowd looks and feels like at Hansen Field.
Playing college football at the Division I level is something extraordinary, but the experience of playing at Hansen Field is something special for players Mike Vitti and Zeke LaShore.
Playing at Hansen Field is nice. It's different than a lot of the other stadiums we play in. It's smaller, but we really get the community involved, and the crowd really makes it interesting. So I really like playing here with our team and a good environment, so it's pretty cool.
It's a great experience, especially having the teammates I do. We all love being with each other. The fan support is getting better over the years, and I enjoy it a lot. So.
For these 2 student athletes, Macomb life is something they value.
Best part about Macomb, definitely the people, because where I'm from, it was a bigger town. So the people really made it for me. I wasn't used to like a small town like this, but not only the football players, but just the community outside the college and the college really made it good for me.
Everyone's together. Everyone's a big family. It feels like it's homey from where I came from high school. I had a big support in high school. I came here and I felt pretty supported here by everyone. So.
And the support of the fans is something that means a lot to the football program.
The support is a lot to not only me, but teammates also and the coaches. We always talk about it with the Leatherneck walk when we're walking down, how much it means to us. And then when they come out and support us, it's awesome, especially because it's a small community, so you know that they know a lot of the players, and we really appreciate them coming out.
It's a lot. It just shows who we're playing for, because we're obviously playing for us and this team, the community. So the support of the fans really drives us to want to do good for them and things like that, let alone ourselves. So.
For the WIU Football Coaches Show, I'm Brendan Reedy.
Coach, describe the Leatherneck football fan base as you've seen it here in your second year.
Well, you're in a smaller town, and the school and the community are so intertwined together, and there's so much tradition here in football at Western Illinois. So, since when I came here in January of 2016, the community certainly has embraced me and my wife and family, but you could see the love for the Leathernecks right away. I mean, the Rocky Dogs are everywhere, and everywhere you go, people have their purple on. I mean, it's a unique relationship for sure.
And I know you mentioned that when you first got here, I mean, you really made it an emphasis to go out and meet and greet the fans in the community and all those community members. Why was that important to you?
Well, you got a relationship there, and you want to feel like, you want them to feel like there's a connection for them to the program, that they have, that they can reach out and touch it, so to speak, and that's important in a small town where they're going to come out and watch us play. There's so much help within the community for our players and doing special things for them, and our players get out in the community and do a lot of things.
They really do. A lot of community service all around through WIU athletics. But Coach, specifically, what does this Macomb community mean to you and your family? Lately?
Well, I grew up in a smaller town, so to speak, in central Pennsylvania. So, and my dad was a farmer. So this area, this part of the country, is very similar to what I grew up in. It's not that much different. And the people here have been outstanding. I mean, you couldn't say enough about Western Illinois, Macomb, the people, with all they've done, not just for me, but our football team. They're always willing to help, do whatever they can to make it a little bit better.
When you were looking, I mean, obviously you wanted to be a head coach again. When you were looking, I mean, was that part of the appeal, kind of the charm in a place like Western Illinois?
Oh, no question. A couple things that just stood out to me. One was the tradition of Western Illinois. This goes way before I got here. There's been a lot of really good players and coaches come before me that are outstanding. I knew that. Who couldn't like the Leatherneck name? That's that's such a staple to this program, being the only school that has that name, so we're easily identifiable. That means a lot. And then just when you're in a small town, the small town's going to embrace the school, because I've been in at different places where there's other things to do. When I was in Nashville at Vanderbilt, there's a lot of pro sports going on, so that you can't get everybody's attention. Here you've got everybody's attention.
Sorry, no pro sports here in Macomb that we know of, as we give a preview of this weekend's home contest against South Dakota State. That's coming up next after our final timeout.
Western Illinois University allows you to think for yourself and to discover the freedom to become your own.
Own it at Western. Build your own expectations and fill your own shoes.
Explore an academic culture that adapts to you.
Create yourself and inspire originality in an open and safe environment.
Western Illinois University lets you make your own success story.
Think purple.
Think success.
Think Western Illinois University.
Welcome back to the WIU Football Coaches Show. It's time to check in on how Missouri Valley teams performed this past week. It would be week 8 of action. How about Northern Iowa? The Panthers rolling back-to-back wins since losing to Western. They top a very good Penguins team, 19-14. Illinois State knocks off South Dakota, the Coyotes' first loss of the season, a 16-point Redbird winner. Southern Illinois, 45-24 over a still winless Indiana State Sycamore team. And we'll talk a little more about South Dakota State and their drubbing of Missouri State. And now the games on tap for Week 9 in the MVFC. Illinois State visits Youngstown State Bo Pelini's squad, trying to avoid their 4th straight loss of the season. Indiana State looking for its first win of the season at Missouri State. Northern Iowa gets another tough dome test inside the Fargo Dome at North Dakota State. And Southern Illinois visits South Dakota, with the Coyotes and Coach Nielsen trying to get back on track. But the Leathernecks return home against the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State on Saturday. SDSU also 5-2 overall and 2-2 in the Valley. But they're fresh off a 62-30 shootout type of win where Missouri State pretty much ran out of gas. For the Jacks, it really all starts with their dynamic offense.
Oh yeah, three-headed monster. Their quarterback, their tight end, and their wideout, Christian and Goddard and Winnicke. They've been doing a lot of damage in this league for a long time. So you got to be able to handle those 3 guys, keep them in check. The formula for beating South Dakota State, at least at this point this season, is teams that have had the ability to run the football on them. Dan, Youngstown had 45 minutes of time of possession, ran the ball really all night, and didn't give their offense a chance to get on the field.
And Jake Winnicke, just like R.J. Urzendowski of North Dakota State, feels like he's been there forever, and he's just been shattering records.
Yeah, his numbers speak for themselves, and all you got to do is look at the production of a player to know how well he's playing. Similar to our guy, Ackland, just look at the numbers. It'll tell you all you need to know.
And on defense, though, South Dakota State really anchored by Christian Roseboom, who pretty much doubles them in tackles and production.
Yeah, absolutely. Christian Roseboom's an outstanding player. Had a pick 6 on us a year ago. Runner-up National Freshman of the Year. I mean, he's got accolades. Reminds you a lot of Brett Taylor. Just a younger version and a little bit longer hair.
That's right. Brett could grow it every now and then, though, but that's right. 2 weeks ago, you and I rolled past the Jackrabbits 38-18. Obviously, different matchups there, but what did the Panthers do well in that game?
Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball.
There you go.
And they really took Youngstown's formula and duplicated it. They had Miller had, I think, 182 yards rushing, somewhere in that range. So when teams are able to run the ball, I think South Dakota State will come into this game 9th in the conference defending the run. So they've had some issues there. We're going to have to be able to run the ball. That's something that we like to do. We do it very well. We got to certainly do it better than we did against North Dakota State to have the success that we want to have this week.
And what was learned from last year's loss in Brookings? It was the first loss a season ago, and kind of a learning moment.
Yeah, going into that game, everybody told me, Coach, that playing in Brookings is tough. And we went in there sky high 3-0, and well, I tell you what, we got it handed to us. in a mighty way. Certainly learned that you better cover Dallas Goedert quickly. But he made some plays where we had him covered, and you have to credit him because we had him covered, and he had some circus catches, and they got on a roll. We started out 14-all, game's tight, and then boom, just like that second quarter, the game got away from us, and we could never recover.
And that it should be a great matchup this week, and Western, of course, trying to keep this one closer. Kickoff from Hanson Field set for 1 o'clock, so you gotta be there. Don't be late for the Leathernecks and Jackrabbits in Macomb. For Western Illinois head football coach Charlie Fisher, I'm Danny Fry. Thanks again for watching.